Guys, hope everyone's doing well. So, great day today. Update: Biden does a mandate for vaccines. All people who have employees over 100, employees, must make sure their employees are either vaccinated or they get daily COVID tests. I love it. So here's the thing that you can't be complaining about as a person who may be against the vaccines or this mandate. The reason why we are in a situation why we have to do a mandate is because you guys didn't want to listen to instructions when we were telling you to just stay inside. Everybody wanted to turn up, everybody wanted to do anything, and many people knew that this was going to happen in the future. If you don't follow instructions, we'll force you. People, I'm going to make this short. People are going to have their dumb arguments thinking they know anything about rights, freedom, these things that are very malleable. The reality is, this is how the world works. I've said in the past that when it comes to controlling things, or when it comes to morals and ethics and arguments and all of that, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who has the strongest argument. It's about many times that's less important. It's very important, but it's less important. It's more about who has the power to impose their will on you. And at the end of the day, when you are and when there's a system that exists that you trust to do that, it don't matter what you want to do. At the end of the day, if they're dealing with a group of people who don't agree with them, they can just do it and wait and see what people really want to do. Reality is, most people ain't gonna quit their job. They were talking all that nonsense. People aren't going to quit their jobs, and you shouldn't. You should face the reality. You wanted to go out. You thought because you were vaccinated, you can be around. You part of some breakthrough infections, which are a very small percentage of all COVID infections. What did y'all expect? I'm gonna stand in front of this random house. What did you guys expect to happen? You expected to not be mandated while people constantly die? No one cared when 500,000 people died in America alone. Why do you think we have to do the mandates? You can't be tired of COVID and at the same time you can't be mad that COVID is lasting so long and at the same time be mad that there are mandates. You had to follow the instructions of the COVID restrictions so you would have got over COVID. But what is it? People are simultaneously having an issue with the extension of COVID while also having an issue with the restrictions in place. In order for one thing to be resolved, the other thing had to be done. The fact that you have an issue with both of these things is hilarious. And I love it. Thank you to Biden. Call it communism, call it whatever. Most people now all of a sudden they're political science experts and you know the difference between communism and socialism and anarcho-syndicalism, all that shit. Doesn't matter. It's not true. So, like, comment, subscribe. This is good news. The executive order was 1,000,000% necessary. We needed to do the vaccine mandate because people are fucking morons. They don't want to follow instructions, so we force you to do what you want to do. And I love it. Keep up the good work, Biden. Actually, I'm not going to go that hard. I'm not going to, go that hard. But this is to many people who are already against the vaccine, this is going to be a problem for them. But to the people who are smart, the doctors who are risking their lives every day, the doctors who have to sacrifice their time to deal with people who don't want to listen to them, and apparently they know more than them. When these people have failed high school biology, talk about the vaccines change your DNA, we don't got time for that. And in this system, when there are people who are smarter than the other group and they're doing things to help them, because most human beings are so concerned about human beings aren't concerned about their longevity for the most part. They're concerned about the instant gratification. You need people in this system to to stand up and do it. At the end of the day, if there's ever a situation like this where you don't like it, or there's a system that exists where we just gonna see what happens, watch what happens when it's done and see how many people revolt. That shit never happens. How many problems black people been having with racism in the United States? When's the last time black people actually revolted? Never. 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 And the same thing is like this. Most people, they talk a lot. They want to do all this stuff, but it never really materializes into like a revolt, and it's not going to. You're going to see the people begrudgingly taking most vaccines. Will some people quit? They will. They have in other places, in Texas and all of that. But that's not going to be the case all the time. And I'm glad for it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got an issue with the mandate, you should have followed instructions and you should have been making an effort to stay your ass inside so COVID doesn't spread. Because many of those deaths were before the vaccines were available. Niggas just weren't staying away from each other. So now you got to be mandated to be protected because you didn't listen to instructions when it was just stay away from people. So this is how we make sure it's done. GG.